Hi friends, this is Joanne. Welcome back to my channel. This is Maggie Holmes Monday, and I've put my layout together somewhat, and I wanted to show you some techniques in this video more so than watching me put a layout together. So I used a lot of my stash of Maggie Holmes with mostly Gather, and I also used a ton of the new embellishments that I was gifted from my good friend Karen in my Happy Mail video that I did the other day. So let me go ahead and tell you some stuff that I did, and we'll put this together. I'm going to do a little bit of mixed media, and then we'll be all finished. I don't want to talk too long. I'm trying to improve the lighting in my videos and make them a little bit shorter. So I have some shadows here, but the lighting's a lot better than it's been in the last couple videos. So thanks for being patient with me. Okay, so what I did is I made clusters, okay? And I used the Maggie Holmes paper and I made these flowers. And I used embellishments that Karen gifted to me. She made this butterfly, this heart, and she made this butterfly and this heart, and I love them so much. So I'm going to show you how I made these flowers, talk about that for a quick moment. So I got this metal die, and it's from In Love Art Shop, and you can take these apart, but I like to keep them together because then I know they go together. So I will run this through my Sizzix 4 times using 4 different pieces of paper, and then I line them up, and I take one of each size from each piece of patterned paper and then create the flower. So let me show you some of these up close. And then what I do is I will take them and put them together with glue. And then I take my scrapbook.com glitter marker and I paint the petals of the flowers and then let that dry for a moment. And then it makes the paper really crisp. So then you can go ahead and push up your petals for dimension. And I just think that's really neat. Now I chose 4 different papers, and one paper was this blackish kind of paper with some flowers on it. And I thought it looked pretty, but then when I put this together, it was too dark and I wanted to tone it down a little bit. So I used this Wink of Stella that Karen had gifted me on some of my petals and made them lighter. Like this right here used to be black. So I just put some of that on there, and I put my clusters together ahead of time because I'm talking more about how to make these flowers than I am about putting a cluster together. So I put a punched out a circle in the back, and then I put this down here in the corner, and I kind of just kept attaching things to the circle until I got this the way I wanted it. And then I left myself some space here because I knew that I wanted to put this flare button from Karen's Yes Please button shop in here, and I'm going to tuck it in. I'm just going to nestle it in there a little bit. So let me go ahead and get my fine liner glue bottle, and we're going to do that first so we don't lose that button. And this is a very nice button. It's got some dimension, but it's not so thick that it's going to be annoying in your album. It's got a flat back, so I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on that. And then I'm just going to tuck it right in here underneath the leaves. But I want to make sure that you can still read that it says love this. So I'm going to just move it around a little bit until I get it where I want it. And then hold it down for a second so it dries. And then this cluster is done. And in the middle of my flowers, I just went ahead and put some gems in there that I got from Hobby Lobby. That was my cat. Park Lane gems. These are really, really pretty, aren't they? And I like these because whatever you're using, they kind of pick up the color of the pattern paper. So even though these are kind of clear, they look a little bit pinkish when you put them on your paper. All right, So let me put my top on my fine liner so I don't have that dried out. And then I did this metal die and a couple different pieces of green paper from the Maggie Holmes Gather collection, and I made all these little leaves to go with it. Okay, so then here's my other cluster. It's got some beautiful butterflies and some hearts and this little dangle charm that Karen made me. Isn't that beautiful? I love it so much. And I painted it with my glitter marker from scrapbook.com to give it the blingy, glittery look. Okay, so we have 3 clusters going on, and then my title is going to be Love Makes Everything Grow from Maggie Holmes, and this is vellum. So then I took 2 pieces of paper and I just ripped them and put them together. So let's go ahead and put that down now. That will be our starting point to get this layout put together. All right, but what I wanted to do here is I'm going to do a little mixed media, and I put 2 little dots of pink where I want that to be. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. So let me make some space on my glass mat, get everything out of the way so I don't ruin it. And I'm going to be using today the Shimmers Inklings. Naughty or Nice is what it's called, and it's this pretty pink. It's really very beautiful. So I went ahead and put some water in there. So I'm going to get a paintbrush. I'm going to mix that up. It's very, 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 very pretty pink. So I'm going to mix that really good so I get all the shimmers and the real color of the paint. I'm just going to put a whole bunch of it down here on my mat, my glass mat here. Okay, I don't need too much. I did not gesso my paper, in case you were wondering. I'm going to add a little bit more water to that. So mix that all up. And I know that I am going to put it right here because I put my 2 little dots like I mentioned. I'm going to use my new Alt-to-New blending brush. I love this brush so much. It's gorgeous and it's so easy to use. I'm just going to go ahead and use, I'm using this Tim Holtz collection stencil. Just going to grab a little bit of this. I'm going to go ahead and put some in here, just a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just want it to peek out a little bit. Carefully peel that up, just to put that there a little bit. Go ahead and put my strips of paper down. Hopefully I put them down straight. There, that looks pretty straight. Now see, it's just peeking out a little bit. And then I'm going to put my cluster down. And I am going to use glue for that because of the mixed media. And this little cluster does have a lot of dimension on it because I added so many pretty layers to it. So I'm just going to put this here. Let's see how that's just popping out behind that a little bit, and it's so pretty. And I just wanted to be right here in the middle. And I want to make sure that this isn't hitting the edge of the page because I don't like cutting things off. If I made something, I don't want to cut it. You know what I'm trying to say? So there's that. Glue that down a little bit. And then I think we'll just go ahead and put our title down. And I want this butterfly to be where this word is. My blending brush back in its container so we don't get any more smudges, and then we're going to go ahead and stick our paper and our picture down. Now I just have this piece of paper. It's kind of like paper piecing. I'm not really backing my photo with this. I'm just kind of laying my photo on top of it. Okay, so let me put my clusters back where I sort of think I want them, and that way I know that I'm putting my picture back where I really want it. And I'm going to take this cluster, and I want a little bit peeking over the picture, but not all of it. So I'm going to tuck this part underneath here There, that's perfect. Now you can see my mixed media peeking out here and here. You don't want a lot, just a little teeny bit peeking out. And if there's any mistakes, we're just going to cover those up with some splatters. It's no big deal. It's all good. So that looks about right to me. So instead of moving this black piece of paper again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my fine liner and I'm going to put some glue down. And I can always go back in later and put more down if I feel that any parts are sticking up and it's not enough. But for right now, for the sake of the video, we're just going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and put glue down on my photo. My cluster kind of stuck to the photo, and that's where I wanted it, so I'm going to go with that for the moment. All right, I think that's good. And what I want to do with this cluster is I don't like it when things are not showing properly in the corners. So for example, I wouldn't want my cluster to be like this because then there's this huge white gap right here. So I'm going to make sure that the very tip of that leaf hits the corner of that black and white paper. So then it looks, to me, it looks perfect. All right, so get this down straight before that glue dries and I'm in trouble. Move this up a little bit. So that's right on there. There. And again, this is not going off my paper, so I really like that it's still there. It's going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue underneath here, so we get that to stay where we want it to stay. But I'm only going to glue it right in the center because we're going to put some thread and some additional embellishments underneath there. So I picked out this pink thread. Isn't it cute? And I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of it, like probably 5 or 6 good pulls, and just messily put it together. A pair of scissors to cut that. So I'll just go ahead and do this. Just make a little circle and then just pick this up, kind of just tuck it in underneath there. And then I made this little charm that Karen gifted me. I put this on some thread, and I'm also going to stick that underneath this little cluster and have the little charm hanging down from the cluster. I just think it looks really cute. So let me show you up close so you can really see, because the charm is so tiny. Isn't it cute? I love it. So you see how it just moved? I'm going to tuck that back where it needs to go. So I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. I'm going to go ahead and put a little dollop of glue under that leaf that I want to be right there in that corner. Okay, perfect. Hold that for a second. I'll lift up, put just a couple drops of glue where my thread is so my thread stays in place. And I want this charm to hang down. I don't want it to be flopping all over the page when it goes into my album. So I'm going to put a dollop of glue down and just kind of let it sit exactly where I want it to sit. So we'll give that just a moment to dry. And it's a little heart. It's a key, which is like, you know, that saying, key to my heart, all that good stuff, that ushy gushy stuff. I thought that was cute. So I think that up here in this corner needs a little something. So I made this extra little leaf. I'm going to go ahead and stick that in there. And I just want it to kind of, this one to be sticking out this way and this to kind of be cornered down here. So I'll give that a minute to dry. And I have this brad that Karen gifted to me. Hold on. Let me see. Come on, focus. There we go. Isn't it cute? It's got little pink flowers on it. I was thinking about poking a hole in the paper and putting it right there, nestled in with this cluster. I think that would look really great. So I'm going to go ahead and get my paper piercing tool and put a hole in there so it'll be easier and then I don't have to fight with it. Just poke a hole right through your paper. And I forgot to mention, this is basil cardstock that I use on my background, and it's a white, but it's not the stark white like the marshmallow because I think that Maggie Holmes papers are not necessarily bright true white. They tend to be a little bit off white, so I use it that way. And then let me get my tape and I'll show you what I do when I put brads on. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my brad in here. I love using brads on my layouts. I forgot to mention this is a picture of myself and my husband at a hockey game that we love going to. Obviously, there's no hockey this year because of COVID. So I'm going to turn this around, and then I'm going to take that my tweezers here, and I'm going to bend these two over and push them down. And then what I do, and you can try this if you want to, I take a couple pieces of Scotch tape and I just put it over the brad, 2 or 3 layers of it, because I don't want this metal to poke through to that layout on the opposite side, okay? And let me see what I did down here. Yep, that looks straight, but I see here I have a little leftover on the side, so I'll just go ahead and cut that off nice and straight and get that done. All right, perfect. So this seems to be sticking really well with that glue. It's metal, so that's exciting. Let me grab a couple more. I'm going to put some thread here. So I'm going to take a tug on these like 5-6 times and drop it like I always do because I'm clumsy. And grab some of that. I messed that up a little bit. It was a little bit too straight. I don't think I have quite enough, but let's try that when we get there and see if that works. So then I want to put this on the corner. I want to make sure that my saying that says love this on my flare button is straight so you can read it. And it's not going to be, so I might have to pop that back up. Put that back in there. Perfect. It didn't glue all the way just yet, so I was able to move that. So what I want to do is I want to corner this cluster to the corner of my papers and my photo. And see what I'm talking about with this leaf up here? If I went like this, it would be half white, half black and white with the pattern paper. So I want to make sure that entire leaf is off this pattern paper, so there's only white popping up behind it, and it's just one solid color behind it. So I think right there is good. So again, I'm just going to hold it in place, pull it up a little bit, put a big huge dollop of glue underneath there, and I can put some more glue down after we're done. And just make sure it stays. All right, one more dollop. Just in the middle, because I'm going to want to tuck some stuff in like I always do. So here's this thread, and I know that's not enough, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab some more if I can here. And I can't find the end of it. Oh, don't you hate when that happens with your thread, you guys? It gets stuck up in the piece that you use to snap it off. Now it's stuck in there. All right, so we'll do that off camera because I don't want to have you sit there watch me fight with some thread. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck some thread right in here. And that might actually be enough. It looks cute. So I'm going to expand my little thread a little bit more. Tuck this up underneath there. Still don't like the way it is. Let me turn it around. Maybe that's my problem. Nope, I don't like that either. I'm very picky about how the thread goes in. Oh, I like that. All right, so since I like that, I'm going to put some glue under there. But what I was thinking about doing is, because this writing is in black and we have a piece of black and white paper here and there's black text on this piece of paper, I wanted to add some black elements into my layout. That button is just not staying straight. So I have this piece of vellum. It actually used to be on the end of this, but it was getting in the way of my cluster in here, so I just trimmed it off and I'm like, I'll use it someplace else. So I was thinking about just tucking it in there for some black. So I really like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue just on the end. And then I'm going to pop my thread back in there. Put a dollop of glue on my thread. And then hold that and tuck this in. Pretty. Move this around until you like it. Hold it down for just a moment. I think this is looking cute so far. So then the next thing I have, and we're almost at our final touches, I might put some foam squares underneath these things off camera. And I have this Maggie Holmes sheet that's got some sentiments on it. And I really like this one. It's black and gold, which works out good because of the black here. And then this charm has gold in it. And it says, "You are my everything," which is really cute. I don't think that's focusing very well. Nope. "You are my everything" is what it says. So I'll take my tweezers just to make sure I put it in straight. And I always turn my layout. I want to put things up like this. I'll put it right underneath here. Now, I think this is competing with the text on this paper. So I'm going to put it in between here just to make sure that you don't have two competing text phrases right next to each other. Make sure that's straight. And then I'll take it back and I'll look at it to make sure this is what I like. I think that's cute. You can put phrases sideways. You can put things underneath. I don't think I love it up there. So I'm going to take it back out. And we're going to just audition it in a different location where I might love it better. You never know. So I'm going to go ahead and put it here. Try to get it straight with the photo. I think I like that better, you guys. What do you think? All right, I'm going to leave it there for now and just see what it says, what I think about it. And you know how you look at your layouts like half an hour later and you're like, oh, this needs something. Oh, I have to move that. These are clear stickers from Maggie Holmes' Sweet Story. I thought maybe I could tuck some in throughout here and here and bring in some of that black. So let's go ahead and try one. I don't know if this is what I want to do, but we're going to try it and see. This is really, really tiny. Oh my goodness, I'll definitely need my tweezers for that. See if I can get like just a little pop of black in there to go with everything. Yeah, that looks cute. All right, and then here's a nice long one. What shall we do with that? That's pretty. Maybe we could put that right in here. Oops. The only thing with these stickers, you got to be really, really careful because once you get it down, you're not getting it back up. How's that? That's cute. Now, what else do we have? Let's try one of these. I don't know. Yeah, that's cute. We'll do one there. And then there's a whole bunch of little leaves in here, so let's take advantage of those. Tiny, tiny, tiny leaves. We'll throw some up in here. What do you think? I don't know. How about there? That looks good. And then we'll put another tiny leaf on the other side of that bread too, just to make it. No, I don't like that. I think that one was sufficient. Let's stick one in here just to add a little black in there. Okay, and we'll put some up in here too. Let's see. Maybe we can stick one of these down in here underneath that. Nope, I don't like it. Let's try it in here. That's cute. We'll leave that there. And then let's try this one. Oops. Like I said, be careful where you put these because you're not getting it back up again. Maybe in here. Yeah, that's cute. All right. Maybe one more. Try a bigger one right in here to cover up the corner of that mixed media. So it doesn't look so, oh, this is where I ended type of mixed media. I think it's cute. All right, that's pretty. So let's just do one more little leaf. Right there. That's pretty, you guys. What do you think? I think we need some splatters. Do you think we need splatters? I do. Go ahead and put one little dollop of glue on that so we can hold down that vellum leaf, because of course, it popped up because it got wet. All right, so there's that. So I'm thinking pink splatters are going to look really pretty. Let me go get ahead and get a paintbrush for that. All right. I'm going to put some splatters in here, a couple up here, definitely some here and here. We have like a mixed media gone wrong strip right there, so we can put some extra splatters up and around here, and it'll kind of cover it up. And you'll never know that we made a mistake. I'm going to put this over my photo so it doesn't get wet. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my Altenew ink sprays in Frosty Pink. I'm going to put my paintbrush right in there. And I'm just going to put some tiny, tiny, tiny splatters all up and around this cluster. I don't want it all over, I just want it right here where the cluster is. And I feel like I have to concentrate when I'm doing splatters. I don't know why. Like, how do you do splatters wrong, you know? I don't know why I concentrate on them so much. So that looks good. A couple more to just make it look like more random. It looks a little bit on purpose right now. And then if I think that I need one somewhere, I'll just go ahead with my paintbrush and put a couple down. All right. And then right here on this corner, the mixed media kind of abruptly stopped. So I'll just put a whole bunch right there. I don't want splatters to really get onto my title too much. They might, but that's okay. I'm going to put some splatters right on my flower. That's going to look pretty because this ink spray dries like sparkly and shiny. And we all know that I love sparkle and shiny. So I'll put some big ones right in here. There, I put a big one in there. I put a big one there. All right, now let's put some in here. Pretty, 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 pretty. All right, and like I said, here, I'm gonna over splatter because, let me do this. I want to try to cover up some of that mistake mixed media that I put through the stencil, so it doesn't look so bad. I put like a big one right there, so it kind of looks like it's on purpose. And just take the harshness of that mixed media line gone wrong away. Okay. So what do you guys think? Do you like it? My friend Gwen Ruck, she also does Maggie Holmes Monday, and you should subscribe to her channel. I'm going to link her below. She's fabulous. This is how I got started wanting to do Maggie Holmes Monday, and join in on the fun for Maggie Holmes Monday because it's great to get ready your stash. Maggie Holmes stuff is absolutely gorgeous. And that's that. So here's my layout, you guys. What do you think? I'm not sure if I'm going to put any enamel dots or pink fresh gems on here. Can you believe me, a layout without pink fresh gems? Never would have thought it. So here it is. And I wanted to show you the dimension. Pretty, right? I'll do some close-ups at the end with some really good lighting so you can see. Look at these beautiful things Karen made for me. This pretty heart and this butterfly that she made me. So wonderful. All right, there you go, guys. Happy Maggie Holmes Monday. Thanks for stopping by.